We are live.
Good evening. This is the public hearing for our 2022 tax budget, resolution number 2021-R-15. And do I call this to order? You're muted.
Well, I don't think you're calling anything to order because you don't have to do a roll call or anything, do you?
But it's
I
her
think
meeting.
you're just talking to the public. It's a public hearing.
Okay.
That's
Okay, so what we wanted to talk about was the Village of Lincoln Heights 2022 tax budget. This is for our residents that may be watching. The 2022 tax budget, the county requires us to list all our levies information. We have 5 levies: the general operating levy, the police pension levy, the police levy, the fire levy, and our infrastructure levy. Some also call it road and bridges. So we need to inform the county on all of our actuals and our future receipts as well as appropriations. So what we send to the county would be 2 years of actuals, 1 year of the current appropriation, and a budget year estimate for the upcoming appropriation. So I don't know how I should detail this. It will list your local taxes. It will list your intergovernment revenue taxes, any charges for service, the taxes that we receive for those payments, such as Greater Cincinnati Waterworks. So it would list the Cincinnati Waterworks receipts that we receive. It would also list any kind of grant information, any kind of special revenue information. So the county would receive those 4 years of information. And that's what we usually submit to the county to let the county know how we're spending the tax dollars. Is there any questions, or we want to discuss anything else, council?
I have a question I'd like to ask.
Yeah.
Ms. Pope, if a resident was to come down and is this public record?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it is available if they want a copy of it. The tax budget.
Thank you.
Is available.
Mhm. Thank you.
Madam CFO, this is your agenda. You're not showing the budget tonight, or am I missing something?
I can show the budget. I just didn't hit the scroll button.
Okay, because you're talking about it. If anybody's watching, they may be a little lost.
Okay, you're
There you go.
absolutely right. I didn't hit the scroll button. I wasn't on that part yet.
Okay, I
Okay.
thought you was finishing up. Okay.
So what we will usually send down also is the resolution adopting the 2022 tax budget. So that is this document.
Is that document to be voted on tonight?
Yes.
I mean, in the final state, we need the emergency clause attached to it, or do we have to have the emergency clause for this?
Yes, because we're trying to pass this tonight. We're trying to adopt this resolution tonight. So that will be the a resolution that will be attached to this document, which is actually the 2022 tax budget.
I don't have that document. Is that on the agenda? I didn't see that on the agenda.
Ms. Randolph sent it to you, so you would.
Oh, that's on the new
packet. Yeah.
Okay.
So with the resolution, shouldn't it be attached to as exhibit A to the resolution?
We have it in here in the resolution where it says under The first whereas clause, it'll show detailed estimates. I don't think we necessarily put attachment, do we, Mr. Desai?
This is the sign.
Yeah, he's here.
I thought we attached those things that we were doing to the resolution.
Yeah, let me take a look at, what did you end up putting together, Donna? Was
So
it based off last year?
Yes.
Well,
What resolution is that? That's
Number 15. This resolution is resolution 15.
scroll down a little bit, Donna.
I don't see a 15. So wait a minute.
2021-R-15.
I don't have a 15. So okay.
I don't either.
Emailed. She was
Donna, can you scroll down a little bit more, please?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Stop, you can stop right there. Let's see, the budget of the Village of Lincoln Heights fiscal year beginning January 1, 2022, ending 31/22. Da, 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 da. Oh, else. Hereby adopted this official budget of the Village of Lincoln Heights fiscal year beginning January 1st. And da, 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 da. Can you get down to section 3, please? Yeah, it doesn't look like this is set up to have it attached as Exhibit A.
It may not be set up to do that, but don't you attach that to it so it'll all be in one place?
We haven't in the past because all we did was take this from the year before and change the dates. So we didn't do it last year. And I mean, we could always do something new, but we apparently have not been doing that as a matter of practice.
Okay, so if a person comes down and requests the resolution, and if the budget is right there with it, would it just make sense? I don't know. Just asking.
I mean, we can always change our practice. I mean, that's the council's pleasure. We just have not apparently done that in the past.
What?
We did.
Donna, you just took last year's and changed the dates, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you saying that we haven't done it for the tax budget, but we do have exhibits attached to other pieces of
Yeah.
legislation?
Yeah. Yeah, there are times when we do that, you know. And I suspect part of the reason here is if you read the whereas clauses, it sounds like this tax budget's been available for public viewing. So, you know, the idea is that this is not the first time anybody's seeing it because, you know, you've got to make it available prior to the public hearing. Was there a public hearing held at 6:15?
Yes.
Yeah, we're still at it.
That's what
No.
we're doing now.
Okay.
I don't have that legislation I didn't see it on the agenda either. But okay, we can always amend it.
We will have to amend the agenda to include the this legislation. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's not on the agenda.
Right.
But Ms. Randolph sent off this particular package to council members probably around 5:30, 5:45.
Yeah,
So you
this-
should have another email with this particular package.
I believe I saw mine.
that scans. Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. Sure did.
So as I was speaking before, this is the package that will go down to the municipalities. The budget has to be passed by July 15th and it has to be submitted to Hamilton County auditors by July 20th. So submitting it tonight, we are ahead of schedule. And that way, if there's any corrections that I need to make to the budget, once the auditors add up all the totals, if there's any corrections that need to be made, I'll have time to make it. And we won't be put in a deadline, you know, the end of the last minute correction. So
Ms. Pope will need to do emergency
yes.
passage on it. Okay. That's okay. All right.
So the first one is our general operating levy, general operating expenditure levy. And it lists all the different accounts that are under the general operating levy, including revenue and expenses. So that's what they'll see, and they'll see the 4-year 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022 financial information. The next levy that's on here would be the police pension levy, and you'll see the information for that. The police levy is listed. The fire fund levy, and ending with our infrastructure levy, and some may see it, you may see it somewhere else as road and bridges, but we have ours as infrastructure levy. So all of these levies will list the total revenue expected, actual and expected and estimated, and then they will also list the total expenditures for each levy. Where's my cursor? And at the end of each levy, you will have your totals, revenues, over or under expenditures, the beginning unencumbered balance, the ending cash balance, the estimated encumbrance outstanding at the end of the year, and the estimated ending unencumbered fund balance. So each one of these levies will have that information. The last page of the 2022 tax budget will include all of the other funds. There's still special revenue funds, but they're just not categorized as a levy. So there's still special revenue funds. So any special revenue fund that we have on our books, we'll list it with beginning balances, receipts, and expenditures. And this is just the form that I have to submit with them. Tells us when this budget it should be adopted by the July 15th or before, on or before July 15th, and submitted by July 20th. And then this section just totals up the expected receipts for all of the 5 levies, and it totals how much we receive from the levies, total of all funds. That $1,179,363. And this lists the public hearing notification that was posted in the Inquirer Media. And this is the certification that the printers will sign off on. I believe I have that copy. They have already sent that back. And this is the affidavit of publication. And that is your whole package that they're gonna receive from us. I don't think we have any requests from the public. So that would be the end of the 2022 tax budget information session. Unless anyone has any questions, we can end this meeting and move on to the committee of the whole.
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why does that say state of Wisconsin
Where are you at?
on your screen? Nancy, state of Wisconsin. Notary, does that carry through for Ohio too?
Yes, that's who notarized that down at the inquiry.
Oh,
I don't know where she's at.
just was curious.
Okay.
Ms. Pope, you're okay. I can't see everybody until you take it off the screen.
Okay, you want me to stop sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you guys are ready to start the call of the whole, I will throw up my graphic and we can get started.
Did you stop me, Matt?
Well, let's officially close out the public hearing, and then before we go to that,
I can't really, if I stop this, it'll stop everything.
I'm talking about for us in terms
Oh, okay, I got you.
of adjourning the meeting.
Motion to adjourn the public hearing meeting.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Meeting has been adjourned at 6:43. Okay. All righty. Motion order. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, we're ready. Village of Lincoln Heights Committee of the Whole is now in session. Today's date is Monday, June 28, 2021. The time is now 6:44. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Present.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Present.
thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Councilman Deron Daniels,
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key. No response. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Present.
thank you. Mayor, we have 6 who are present. We have 1 who is absent. We do have a quorum.
Okay. We have a speaker, but I did need to make an amendment to the agenda only because there's a resolution that's not listed and we're needing to include it. It was on the public hearing in case you had questions. And that would be resolution 20, motion to amend to add resolution 2021 R15.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second to amend the agenda to include resolution 2021 R15. Thank you. Okay. All righty. Then we're going to go back into our speaker for today is Mr. Gregory Johnson, CEO of CMHA. Hi, Mr. Johnson. How are you?
Good, great. Good evening.
Oh, there you
Good
go.
evening.
Okay, good evening. Did you need us to share a screen? Did you just share a screen with us?
Yes, if I could, that would be great if I can get it to work. You know how technology is.
Okay. Matthew, could you set Mr. Johnson up to share screen, please?
He's the co-host right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I didn't want to take up a whole lot of time this evening, but I just wanted to kind of give an update on where we are with our Mariana Terrace. It seems there's been some discussion about communication with residents and things like that. And I just wanted to run through the communication and just see if you had any questions as we're moving closer and closer to the renovation of Mariana Terrace. I've done a couple of presentations. We talked about RAD. In a sense, the Housing Authority is going through a $1 billion transformation of upgrading all of our properties to preserve them. And as we're developing new properties, and RAD is a resource that HUD has provided us to utilize and go out and borrow money to do the conversion. Mariana Terrace is going under RAD, and we're utilizing that vehicle to go out to get funding for the renovations. I just wanted to go over quickly the residents' rights under RAD. All of these rights have been given to the residents. We actually produced some stickers for individuals to put on their stove or refrigerators. And then we go over them when we meet with the residents as well. As you can see, to be informed, return to the remodeled property, no rescreening, and then no more than 30% of income paying, and continue with the grievance process if anything they feel has been violated. And then the plans for Mariana Terrace. As I talked about, the RAD conversion, two 1-bedroom apartments will be taken offline, which will allow us extra bedroom to develop a 4-bedroom unit. Temporary relocation will be required. CMHA will pay for all the relocation up to packing residents, moving them, packing them back to move them back to the location. And we hope to begin construction November 2021. The reason why I say hope to begin 2021, because of the pandemic, it has raised construction costs over 100%. And so we have to go back out and resubmit papers for new construction pricing, and then making sure that we can cover that cost. We had it all covered prior to the construction height. Just continuing with some of the work that'll be done with new porches. We'll be doing inside work, a lot of outside work to change the look of the property, fencing, gazebos and things like that, cabinets. It'll be a lot of work, and it'll be a total true transformation of the units for the residents and the community. Just some pictures here. Obviously, I think you know what it looks like currently. And then with some drawings that we have here that talks about pulling some of the porches and building some of the gazebos and things like that, just to give you an idea of what the finished product is going to look like. So we just talk about the phases. 76 units ranging from 1 to 4 bedrooms currently. Currently, we have 9 vacants. We have a phase 1, phase 2, and a phase 3. And you can see the number of units that are in each phase, and then the estimated time that each family will be out of their unit while we're redoing the current buildings. We're going to try to move residents from and utilize some of the vacancies that are in their phase. And then, as you can see, there's 22 units, and there's not, 22 vacants in another phase. So there will be some temporary offsite relocation. We'll be doing or have done needs assessments. We meet individually, and even during the pandemic, we've been out going door to door, meeting people on the weekends, meeting them at night, because we know some individuals work, just to be sure we get an idea of the needs of the residents, and making sure everybody, needs are met as we work through this renovation. As I said before, we'll pay a third party to pack residents, move them to the temporary relocation, pack them again, move them back to the property. If a person chooses to move themselves, we'll actually give them the dollars so they can move themselves if that's something they choose. Here's an important piece. If there's an increase in their rent or utilities at the temporary location, we pay the difference. So for example, if somebody's paying $130 a day, a month now, and then we find a temporary relocation and that rent is $230, we pick up the $100. And if they don't pay utilities now, we'll pick up the utility costs, which they pay utilities now, but I would just kind of give you an example. And then resident engagement, what we've been doing, as I said, we're at the site weekly, knocking on doors, speaking with residents, including a monthly RAD newsletter. We've been doing that since December of 19, hand delivered to residents. Most recent issue was sent out this month. Then we had an FAQ hand delivered the 17th of this month. And we have done several conference calls, in-person meetings, flyers, and advertisement during the pandemic months also. So just a list of the resident meeting dates. As you can see, it goes back to 2017 up to current on how many meetings we've been having throughout for the last 3.5 years about the transformation and rights of residents and what's happening. So then explanation on the September the 25th meeting, we talked about RAD, explanation of why we're entering the program, obviously to upgrade, and it's part of our transformation plan. And then we answer questions, provided information on about rental payments and things like that. The 23rd meeting just talks about what we shared there. It's really the agendas for all of those meetings. And I just wanted to be deliberate of, how we did the meetings. Obviously, we didn't start Zoom and conference calls until August of 2020. All the other meetings were in person, door to door. But I just wanted to give you an idea of when and how we were meeting with residents and what we went over. I did send a copy of this PowerPoint, so you can, if you would like to have a copy of it, you can grab a copy of it as well. And it has all those dates and conversations we went over. Then I just wanted to put together some just FAQs. When will the project start? I talked about November 2021. Will residents be able to return to their same unit? The residents will be able to come back to the complex. We can't guarantee it'll be the same unit that they left. Can residents stay in the school district? The answer is yes. If a resident has children in the Princeton School District, which is the greatest school district in Hamilton County, I would have to say. My son just graduated from there this year, so I'm proud of that. I will write a letter to the principal, and we do this all the time, the principal that will allow the students to stay in the Princeton district, and then have all the households finish their needs assessment. Currently, we have 65 out of 67 that have finished the needs assessment. So we're about 99% done with all the current households. And then just if you have any questions after I'm done, you can always contact Shonda McMillan or Gary Boris about the project with any questions that you may have. If you have questions that centered around relocation, I would like to give you one additional contact. Her name is Mary Kosick, and her number is 513-977-5665. And she's the director of our relocation department. So if it's a specific question, but any of these individuals that I have listed here can answer any questions that you may have. So I tried to go through that quick without belaboring it. But I just wanted to, it's always good to stop by and just give a refresher of where we're at, what we're doing, and as we're getting closer and closer to the redevelopment. So I will entertain any questions that you may have.
Anyone have any questions?
Yes, Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
My question, and he may not be able to answer, but I got wrote Mary's phone number down. My concern is the transition with the children in school. If you're starting in November, which is the beginning of the cold months, and if kids have to relocate, nobody likes to move, and it's always a challenge for children. And I know that they do have like an extra van or bus service, or sometimes that they'll UTS or something. I think that it's called, that some of our foster children or other children use. But let me give you a heads up on that. Those kids are the kids that are always late to school, always the last to get picked up. It's always a situation with transportation. I love how y'all got this, your bases covered. I'm just giving you a heads up on that. When kids have to move, that's a big transition. I would ask that you ask Princeton to give those kids a little extra services. Nobody likes to move, and we want to make sure that our kids can stay on track. They've already been living next to, the gun range. So let's just see if we could work on that. Transportation is awful with getting kids to school on time.
I will, that's a great point. I actually, I met the gentleman that's over transportation a couple of months ago. We were on a panel together. So he was presenting to Hamilton County. So one of the things I'll do is I will reach out to him, let him know. Usually what happens, since Princeton has so many communities that feed into it, when we give the new address, because we help the resident with that communication to Princeton, they should fold into the normal transportation system that they have in those areas. But I know what you mean. Like I said,
what if a family had to move outside of a Princeton district, though, is what I'm saying.
No,
it's not going to be a Princeton bus, it's going to be a UTS. And
to get them into the Princeton system. So yeah, no, I agree with you. So I will reach out and start that communication as they're working on their transportation needs. That's a great point. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I still, I'm looking forward to you selling those shirts.
Anyone
I'm
else?
sorry, I was on mute, Mr. Johnson.
Councilman Daniels, I see you have your hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. That was great and answered a lot of questions and concerns I know some of the residents had. Two things. The first one was just, if you had a waiver and kind of that similar situation that Ms. Jeannie was talking about, if I had a waiver, or not a waiver, sorry, education voucher. If I had an education voucher, and then now that I live out of the district, say for instance, I'm going to St. Gabriel's, a private school, but I only can get that voucher if I live inside the Princeton district. I now move out of the district during this situation. How does that now affect me?
Same thing. Same thing.
Okay.
We write the letter, and so you won't lose that benefit at all.
Okay, and then lastly, on that kind of similar note, if I'm a resident and I said that I wanted to opt out of moving in, can I still change my mind? Do I still have an option to opt back in into staying into Mariana Terrace? That was another concern one of the residents had.
So I just want to make sure I get it right. So like say they did your assessment. During your first assessment, you said, I don't want to come back. I want to find outside. But now you're saying I want to change, and you're asking, can you do that? Of course. So the only thing they have to do is contact Mary Kosick. She'll have Jeannie Stewart is the young lady's name. She'll come back and do the reassessment, and it's not a problem.
All right, thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, if there's nothing further, thank you, Mr. Johnson, for coming back to give us an update. We're looking forward to seeing how the process is gonna go. So I guess we'll be seeing you in the near future.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.
Aye.
Okay. Next we have is Mr. Collins from My Brother's Keeper. Mr. Collins, I thought I saw one.
Yeah, greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
Thank you for having us.
Mhm.
Can I have the ability to share screen? I have just some quick slides I can run through.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Thank you.
You should be good right now.
Got it.
So this is a conversation just around MBK Lincoln Heights, the resolution that was passed last July. Just wanted to come before the council to provide an update for you guys. So, you know, one of the things that we've done just in terms of the Heights movement is we've aligned everything around like the pillars of the reimagination, including the work that we're doing in terms of MBK, just being more targeted and specific in how we go about that and execute it. Obviously, you know us, but there's 6 tenets of the MBK Alliance. So getting a healthy start, entering school ready to learn, reading at grade level by the 3rd grade, graduating from high school ready for college and career, completing post-secondary education and training, successfully entering the workforce, and keeping kids on track and giving them second chances. So for us, in terms of our mission, is this to create critical thinkers to lead Lincoln Heights into the future, asking kids, you know, what problems do they want to solve, and then how do we equip them to give them the tools that are necessary. And then specifically, who do we serve? So we serve the community of Lincoln Heights, specifically Black and brown males, but we've made it a focus of ours is that if we're doing something that is applicable specifically to Black and brown males, which aligns with the charter of MBK, we want to have at least some kind of programming that is reciprocal for young ladies. That's a big thing for us. Princeton City Schools, and then young adults, right? Being able to look at those who've graduated but still need help and support in terms of getting into the careers, getting in their careers and what allows them to be successful moving forward. We still have an intentional focus there in working with them. So around beautification and social justice. So the produce market, so the garden on Jackson Street, and then the goal of being able to put produce in the local corner stores that we yield from that lot. Just working on the murals, that whole piece, and then as we look into environmental justice, and there's a few things that we have going on there in terms of testing for lead, testing for any different kinds of exposure and those kinds of things, but making that a community-led initiative and not necessarily people coming from the outside in order to do that or get that done. Big part of that, which was brought up before, and we're working with in conjunction with the diocese of the Episcopal Diocese of Southern Ohio, and that's all things that will commence and get started towards the latter part of the summer. And then as you see here, we have like this MBK alignment. So kids being ready to learn, as well as successfully entering the workforce and giving kids second chances. So when we're talking about juvenile justice, so every MBK chapter has a focus or has a policy initiative that they're focused on, and ours is juvenile justice. Reason being that we wanted to focus on this was because one, Hamilton County, and a lot of you guys will remember this, Hamilton County used to have the unofficial juvenile court in every community in the county. And currently it only has 3 left. One being Madisonville. I think they've been operating for 14 years. The eldest is Avondale, which I think they're over 20 years. And they may have just never even discontinued theirs, or it was only interrupted for a short period of time. And then Price Hill is 3 years old. So talk about bringing that back in terms of Lincoln Heights. And there's a push to, one, find some additional funding county-wide to support these programs, because these have been totally supported by the community. But building that infrastructure a little bit more, Judge Carrie Bloom is very much so interested in doing so. And then one of the things we had talked about doing as we administer this court is that not only just understanding what the issue was that forced them to get arrested, but more importantly, how do we inject a caring adult? When you're talking about toxic stress and the things that make a huge difference in kids' lives, it's injecting that caring adult into their life, and it could easily change their trajectory. So if a kid does cross our path, having been arrested in their first nonviolent offense, being able to then say, hey, we'll put you with a mentor, as well as try to provide some additional academic and professional development supports through the organization Supersedes, which Supersedes is an organization which was founded by Candace Tolbert. Many of you know her. She actually she's a CPA as well. She has a building, she had a new building that was built right across from the fire station in Dairy Queen, right there on Springfield Pike. And half of her building, she has her business, and the other half of the building, which she's still developing, is meant to go for Supersedes. So that'll be the location where youth, when they get suspended, or even if they're expelled, that's where all the programming would go. And those kids would be transported to her at that facility. So it just ended up being a great opportunity. And she hadn't to this point, and we're working on putting some things together, but she hadn't to this point had the opportunity to work with Princeton kids. She had been working with Winton Woods, and I think she worked with Northwest School District and a few other districts closer towards the city, but really wanted the opportunity to work with Princeton as well. So that's part of what we're trying to facilitate there. But juvenile justice being the focus of like being able to catch the kids before they go all the way down a negative path, and just see what we can do to reset them and get them going back on the right track. So then around economic empowerment, we have a resident empowerment program, which focuses on just giving living wage stipend while we're doing this work. We've had several generous donors help us, and we've provided that funding to do just a good amount of work here. The financial literacy and management piece, that comes through our partners, being Fifth Third and BB&T, Fifth Third for the kids and BB&T for the adults, being able to establish accounts, create a savings program, all of those kinds of things. And then the Howard and Curlia Daniels Innovation and Learning Center, which is the 1256 Beale Street, being able to get that space up and running and serving as another location where kids have the opportunity to create, learn entrepreneurial skills, and leverage their talents to create different products that can be sold or utilized within the community. Community of innovation, there's a video that's supposed to go here. This is a PDF, which is why it doesn't pop up. Is the video of us doing some service work and whatnot between the mural, the innovation center, and the community garden, and just with our partners from GE and that whole piece. But really figuring out like, how are we creating an opportunity for innovation throughout the community. Education and workforce development, we're still working on the documentary. Some of you guys had the opportunity to sit for the documentary. Still working on that and to have that done here in the 75th. STEAM education is our academic focus. So being able to focus on careers that are part of growth industries is a huge thing for us. And the group there's a group within GE that we're working with to help us do that. They provided some funding for some STEM kits. We actually had 75 of them. And we worked in the past couple of weeks in conjunction with the middle school, Princeton Community Middle School, because they have a STEAM camp all during the month of June. So we had the opportunity to speak to about 300 to 350 kids, talking to them about various careers. We delivered the STEM kits to them as well. So they got an opportunity to do that, work in teams and that whole piece. But the days ended up being they went over extremely well. We tried to, as much as possible, tell that story of, the minority recruitment for GE Aviation came from Lincoln Heights, and just kind of rebuilding that interest of what does that look like in terms of them being able to actually supply their minority talent from communities that are surrounding it. And not traveling around the country to find the talent that they need, but also start investing in developing the talent right here at home. That's the big thing for us. And, it's big for Lincoln Heights. It was a huge thing for the community historically, and we want them to own that fact and get back to pouring into the community that will allow us to produce their workers of the future. And then the Ambassadors and Fellows program is really just creating mentoring programs, one, to teach the history of Lincoln Heights, but two, also to be able to grab kids and make sure that they're operating in a way, learning the necessary skills to be successful moving forward. And whether that's college or career, making sure that, we're supporting them in their process and in the development. So that's something that we're hoping to launch come the fall. And our focus on STEAM is in three prongs, right? So centered on exposure at the elementary level, career exploration at the middle school level, and then skill development at the high school level. And then making sure those are transferable skills for career and entrepreneurial success. But figuring out where do we need to have interventions for kids to be able, in particular Black kids, to be able to stay engaged with STEM. When you talk about math, science, engineering, we start in that thing, and we might have a proclivity in it when we're in the elementary school. It might be great, and then it just trails off when we get to middle school, and it just completely falls off a cliff in high school. So how do we make sure kids stay engaged and we're moving them forward in that way? And then just public health and wellness, community and civic engagement, teaching the value of voting, right, to this generation, and what does it mean to be actively engaged in your community? Just building healthy relationships with a main focus on conflict resolution, not as much fighting, not as much violence, those kinds of pieces, and then just seeing what we could do to improve recreational opportunities for everybody across the spectrum in terms of so birth to our elders in the village. And then that's just contact information. But I guess I'll leave it open for questions, but I wanted to just share and kind of give a synopsis of the things that we've been working on and trying to build, and from an MBK perspective, and then how do we draw those resources back towards the community to support our youth in the process.
Any questions for Mr. Collins? Yes, Vice Mayor. Go ahead.
I like the idea of buddying somebody with a positive role model, and the fact that you didn't call it that big brother's big sister, but buddying with a positive person, because we do have a lot of great people that have come from the village. I like to see them buddy with. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I might have
absolutely,
and I might have something.
I didn't hear the last thing you said. You went on mute.
No, I just said I might have something. I'll talk later.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Any questions for Mr. Collins? Ms. Mitchell?
Nope, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Collins, for coming, for giving us a great update of what MDK is. Y'all doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the youth, getting them in, well, not just the youth, but the community as a whole, getting them involved in the voting process. And yeah, it starts, if they
Absolutely.
start very young, they'll hopefully want to do it when they get old enough to vote. So thank you for recognizing that. Okay.
Absolutely. And the ultimate goal for me, I'm like, if Jay-Z can get Oprah to Brooklyn and drinking quarter waters, then we can get Obama to Lincoln Heights with all our history and all our greatness. So that's my goal still. I want to make enough noise to where we can get President Obama to come to drive by little Lincoln Heights.
No, that's right. All right. Thank you so much for dropping by.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Then that leaves us going into our next. I knew that was going to happen. All right. Then we're going to go straight into our resolutions then. All right. Okay. All right. And the first resolution is resolution number 2020 R. Is that 12? Yeah, 12. Resolution authorizing the village manager to enter into a contract for services with the Cincinnati Circus Company for the Lincoln Heights Day Festival. Is there any questions?
The question, Mayor.
Yes, Vice Mayor, and actually it is sponsored by Vice Mayor Simpson. So yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to know, I couldn't remember if you got the second copy, Deepak, of the contract. I don't know if you got the updated one with all the changes that they made.
This is the one that came over on Friday.
Sure.
Yeah, I got an email at 4:41 on Friday. I have not reviewed that.
So this one, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, I'm done. One question at a time. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go.
I just wanted to know, is this the one that had all the indemnification pieces to it? The one that we're about to get, not the one we have tonight, right?
The one that you have tonight should be the updated one that he sent back with taking the MDM whatever off, saying a 50% down, and with the changes for the rain out date, everything that we asked for, he put in there.
Exactly. It would be in your email, but that was now, I think, yeah. I have my copy here. All right. As far as, did you all want to, when we do a regular council meeting, did you all want to read it by title only? I guess it'll be your decision. Or do you want to read it in its entirety? Vice Mayor, anyone? Title only is good enough? Okay. Whichever your wishes are. All right.
Mayor, I just for clarification, the one that was in our mailbox is the updated one, or the one that's in our email is the updated one?
Ms. Randolph?
Mayor, I sent an email, excuse me. I sent an email that I received from Vice Mayor, and I also printed out a copy and placed it in the mailboxes of the council members. So it should be the same. One via email, the other one is a hard copy.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else has any questions regarding the circus company?
Mayor, can I just make a comment?
Yes, sir.
So I think we should go ahead and pass the resolution tonight. Just in kind of doing a quick scan through it, I'm not sure that the addendum is still what we're looking for, but I can work with Ms. Powdrell on getting that finalized. I don't think we need to hold up the reading of the legislation. I think from our discussion last time, everybody understands what we're signing up for and what we want you know, to the final contract to look like. And I think it just might be a matter of you know, finessing some language there in the addendum. So I would recommend we go ahead and do that. But Ms. Powdrell, if you don't mind, before you sign that and send it in, if you could let me just go through it and make sure that I'm comfortable with the way they phrase things.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right, next is going to be resolution number 2021 R13. Resolution authorizing the finance director to appropriate funds from the Public Works Department to contract services to fund the marketing and branding contract to benefit the Village of Lincoln Heights, sponsored by Village Manager Ms. Powdrell. Ms. Powdrell, did you want to speak on this before I ask them if they have questions?
Sure. I have been working with Joe Shields for probably 3 months, and that has been free of service. And it was interesting because when I engaged him, I really said, hey, I really don't know how I will be able to fund this, but this is part of the 6 priorities of the village. And he was so intrigued by the history and the story of the Village of Lincoln Heights. And he said, just assume that I am working for you. And he had some input in the presentation to the Cincinnati Reds, our first presentation, as well as some other presentations in front of other stakeholders. So he has been very good in helping us with our messaging. Going forward, he will help the council members with individual messaging. He will work with you individually, but we will all be using the consistent messaging, ensuring that the village gets their story out. The village has been getting some amazing stories out now, so far with the Wi-Fi, as well as the market that the Heights movement is working on. So there's been a lot of positive things out there, but it's an opportunity for us to now to really frame the stories that we want and present them in the way that we want. Not just kind of a whole branding, but packaging the village in a different way and messaging in a different way. And he comes highly recommended by some professionals that I just happening to be talking about it. And they said that he's actually one of the best in the field. And he's charging like 50% less than a local vendor had offered to provide the service. So he's providing the service 50% less in twice as much time. So it's kind of a wash, but I think you all will enjoy his services and the benefits that he will provide for the village. Anybody has questions about the scope of work in detail? And I can talk more about that in my report.
Any Vice Mayor? You have any questions? Go ahead.
You know, I always have a question. Yeah, you can share with me later. You don't have to share with me now, the scope of what they'll be doing and like the start date.
Okay, I can share now. I have an answer if you want to.
Sure, I'd like to hear. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Start date will be July 1st through to the end of the year. That's where the funding is for. And I think we will get an opportunity to see his value before we incorporate that into a 2022 budget. And the scope of work should have been attached to that resolution.
It is.
It is.
So he will do, okay, so he'll build a foundation, and under that, and I'll talk more about this, Vice, in my report, is kind of building the communication fundamentals, doing a communication audit in who we address and who the audience we should see. What I love this about the engagement is that success measurements. And I don't think oftentimes when we engage like this, we don't measure success. What does success look like for us? And everybody will have an input into coming up with what does success look like. So it'll build on the training that we had on the Saturday regarding messaging for the leadership. So it'll be a little bit more in depth in coaching and training council members on how to speak publicly, and when we talk to the media, or when we talk about any initiatives that we have in the village moving forward, we're all saying the same thing. And I can get details about that.
Okay, anyone else?
Mayor, I have a question for Ms. Pope.
Yes, yes, sir.
Ms. Pope, just a question for my edification. So in section 1 of the legislation where it talks about the accounts, account 101, is that the general fund?
Yes.
And then is 330, is that the Public Works Department?
Yes.
Okay. And is 121 the Administrative Department?
Yes.
Okay. So if I'm understanding correctly, this money that we're utilizing was previously appropriated to the Public Works Department. And what we're simply doing is we know we got the money there, so we're just transferring it from the Public Works Department to the Administration Department contract services line item. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what I might just ask, and I don't mean to be overly technical, Mayor, but the last whereas clause says, let's see, contract services needs funds appropriated from the Public Works Department. If we could make that the Administration Department contract services needs funds transferred.
Give me that
if we could-
again.
Sure. The last whereas clause at the beginning, if it could say the Administration Department, comma, contract services needs funds transferred.
Contract services needs funds appropriated from the Administrative Department.
Well, I'd maybe put that
Well,
at the
let's
very
kind
end.
of twist that around.
Yeah, maybe at the beginning of the whereas clause, if you could say the Administration
Yeah,
Department.
take that out, flip it. Okay, the Administrative Department,
Comma, contract services.
comma, contract services needs transferred to the, wait a minute. Yeah, needs transferred to contract services.
Oh, no,
I got me twisted. I don't like it, got that.
I may have confused you and I apologize. So let me just start from the beginning there.
Yes, yes.
The Administration Department.
Okay.
Comma, contract services.
Okay.
Needs funds
Okay.
transferred.
Okay.
And that's
Yeah.
it. The rest of it's fine in that whereas clause. And then just one other change. In section 1, and I'm just talking to myself here, so don't write this down yet. The finance director is hereby authorized to, okay, so in that first line where it says the finance director is hereby authorized to appropriate, let's make that as hereby authorized to transfer.
You talking about the same one I'm on? Which one you're at?
Section one, the first line,
Okay.
section one.
Deepak,
Yes, ma'am.
it probably should read increase appropriations in the administration contract service line item and decrease appropriations in the service department, like our salaries and benefits. 'Cause
Okay.
it's not actually a transfer because it's in the same fund. It's just an increase. I think in the past we did increase and decrease when we were just doing it in the same fund.
Okay, that's a good point. So since it's in the same fund rather than a transfer, it's just increasing and decreasing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to leave the whereas clause the way it is, because that's just sort of the, whatever you want to call it, it's not the substantive part of the legislation. So Mayor, in that section one, why don't we say, and if you want, I can just make the motion, or I could say, can we have a motion, and I can say what I think it should need to say, and then somebody could just motion. You want to do that?
Yeah, we could do that because I don't want to mess it up, and that way you can gather your thoughts.
There you go. Give me time to figure out what I need to say, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Pope.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're going to be just amending and making some changes on this, right?
Yeah, I think when we get to it, yeah, just, once you say, all right, next in line is R, whatever this is, 13.
13.
Yeah, just, say, Mr. Desai, did you have anything? And I'll just say, we need a motion to do X, Y, and Z. And then whoever wants to can just say motion.
Okay. All right, got you.
Thank you.
All right, that was number 13. We got to do. All right, next is resolution number 2021 R14. Resolution amending the Village of Lincoln Heights Employee Handbook to recognize Juneteenth as a holiday in the Village of Lincoln Heights. Sponsored by Village Manager Paldrill. Ms. Paldrill, anything you want to say on this?
Madam Mayor, no, I think it's pretty self-explanatory unless someone else has any additional questions regarding it.
Okay, any questions, anyone? Okay, that's a gimme. All right. And the last one is, all right, resolution number 2021 R15, resolution adopting the 2022 tax budget for the Village of Lincoln Heights for fiscal year beginning January 1, 2022, and submitting the same to the Auditor of Hamilton County. Anything? I think this is sponsored by Ms. Paldrill. You sponsored this as well, didn't you?
What was it? I'm sorry, Mayor.
The resolution 2021 R15, adopting the budget.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yes, that would be correct.
Yeah, I came out of my email, so that's why I couldn't see it. All right. Okay. Any questions, council, on this? Okay. All right. All right. After that, any miscellaneous business? Yes, Vice Mayor.
My miscellaneous business, I wanted to know when the rest of the trash will be picked up throughout the village. Because I've had 3 people call me and ask when is it gonna be picked up?
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
So, and I'll talk more about this in council meeting, but we had over 70 people responded and said, yes, they had things put out, which I think is amazing. But we filled 2 trucks and we needed additional support. And so Seven Hills Church agreed to come back today, and considering that people had to work today, that should happen at 6 p.m. Today. So what was not taken on Saturday should be taken today. If not all taken today, we will make sure we'll have it taken care of.
Okay.
But each person that signed up definitely will have a pickup. And Rita Watson did a robocall Saturday to inform the residents of that. And I know that people say you don't get robocalls, but that's the best that we could do in communication, is putting that out there.
So you had to have signed up in order to have the large items picked up?
Yes, Vice Mayor. Some people came to the village and I was able to talk them through and accommodate. So I didn't want to, if somebody came to the village or they called, I definitely wanted them to have the ability to have something picked up if they could. But they had a very detailed, organized schedule that was created, that was color coded based on streets and sections of the village. And so they tried to go by address that they received for people who made an appointment or called and say, I have X, Y, and Z to sit out. Can you pick it up? I saw you just pick up the flyer, Vice, but it was not as big, but it is detailed because I went looking for it as well. So next time we have some lessons learned, and we definitely want to make sure that the residents are aware of that, and they really do try to call the village and make an appointment. In your mailbox, you should have where the village mapped that out, and it's color coded, and the streets that had scheduled their pickups.
Ms. Charles Jeter?
To the manager, what do you do about people who just put the stuff out there? We're gonna leave it out there. You're gonna not.
And a lot of it that the Rumpke comes tonight. So Rumpke, a lot of what they take as well.
Okay, because I saw some mattresses that were out and they were not covered in plastic. And I'm not sure if everyone understood the message about they had to make an appointment or get on the list to have their stuff picked up. Yeah, don't know.
Okay.
So Madam Manager, if Rumpke doesn't pick up something, then what do we do? Because I think there's some things out on Jackson when I pass by that they probably wouldn't pick up. Mm-hmm. Because do they know that usually don't you have to call when you have big items for Rumpke?
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Madam Mayor, I'm sorry. Typically you do call Rumpke when you have something big. What will happen is that when we finish taking up what is needed to be taken, we will have staff that will go in the village and look around, and we'll come up with a solution to take care of whatever is left. But we are not, it's not fair to the village if people just putting stuff out. That's not what we want. That's not what we want here, that we can't not accommodate every item. I mean, things that are on the list that we can't pick up, it's listed there. It's like oil, concrete, paint, pesticides, that kind of stuff we can't take.
Right, but I was just talking about the normal things that they would have put out and have called Rumpke prior to. As I drove around, I didn't see those kind of things that you can't put out. I didn't see much of that out at all, if any.
Yeah.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I had another question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said staff will pick up. We have a staff now?
Thank you for that correction, Vice Mayor. The staff will go around and make an assessment, and we will ensure that the additional items that are appropriate to take will get taken up. Okay. Whether that's calling the Junk King or Rumpke to do that, making sure that gets stuck in. We will make sure it gets taken care of.
Ms. Jeter?
Yes, even though we send the message out via robocall and sometimes fill a piece of paper with information, the citizens out here may interpret that a little differently. They may just receive it and put it down. My experience has been that the long robocalls don't work for them. A simple message would work better for them. I get telephone calls as well as the other council members on here to try to figure out how do we deal with this, so that is what I want to say about the robocalls. The robocalls are nice, but when you put a lot of information in there, you miss a piece of it. And if you want them to call you and you put in the robocall, by the time that they get to an ink pen, a piece of paper, even though you're repeating it, it's lost.
And I hear you, Councilwoman Charles Jeter, but the other thing is that's why we try to do the verbal calls, and we also mailed letters to residents, and we're doing all the things that we think that we can do to make it clear to residents what to do and give as much information as we can. So we're kind of limited until we get our Wi-Fi together and landing page. I recognize that this is a challenge for the village in terms of communication, but I'm utilizing all the tools that I think I have available that are useful. And to be honest, the village of Lincoln, this is not just a challenge for the village of Lincoln Heights. It's most communities have a challenge of communication, and they will tell you flyers are the best thing that you can give us. And so I think that they appreciate that. But I think in our next step, in our next adventure in doing the cleanup, we will make it clear of the process. And I think they did, but you just have to read the details.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Padrio. We're gonna go ahead and move on. All right, so if there's nothing further for us miscellaneous business, is there a motion for adjournment for the committee of the whole?
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, all right, okay. So with that being said, we're gonna take a 5 minutes and we'll come back and go straight into regular council meeting. The time is 7:40. I'm sorry, Mr. Daniels. Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask Deepak a question. It could be offline. I know we're still recording. I don't mind if it's being recorded. It's I have a question for Deepak, Mr. Desai. We have officially adjourned, correct?
Yeah, we've adjourned.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Desai, can I give you a quick call offline? Is that okay? I think you said sure. I was trying to read your lips there.
Mayor, are we taking 5 minutes or going right into?
Yeah, no, take 5 minutes. So far, it's going good.
Madam Mayor, you're not off mute. Madam Mayor, you're not off mute. Just letting you know.
Ms. Randolph.
I believe we're still being recorded. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I see the mayor's back. So Mayor, I will have to leave at around 8:10.
All right, we're only gonna have, after you leave, we'll have 5 people. So hopefully we get the ball going and we don't be in here long. Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Is everybody in the room?
Won't you have 6?
No, Miss Key is gonna be, she's out sick.
Right, 6.
You leave, it'll be 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Together. Pulling up my agenda.
Mayor, you looking for the agenda?
Yeah, I have it
don't-
on my phone. My phone just went out, so I couldn't pull it up. But I think I have it now.
I don't remember seeing one, so I don't know.
Yeah, she did amended agenda that went out.
I got the
committee.
amended agenda for the council of the whole, so I don't know.
Yeah, I got that email, but I didn't have an attachment to it.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Yeah,
to it.
that's what I was looking for, because she did a amendment, I think, on the regular. I don't see it.
The attachment didn't come with it.
Yeah, that's why I can't find it.
Ms. Randolph, do you have
Ms.
it in front of you?
I do have an amended agenda for council. I'm gonna see if I can get on and email it to the mayor.
I got this, the committee of the whole one. Wait a minute. Okay. All right, I'm ready. You can go ahead and go.
Okay.
The Village of Lincoln Heights regular council meeting is now in session. Today's date is June 28th. The time is 7:55. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Present.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key. No response. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Mayor, we do have 6 who are present. We have 1 who is absent.
Thank you. Motion to excuse Councilwoman Tanya Key
So
for
moved.
today's. The moved, and is there a second? I'll second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph?
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key obviously is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 6 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Thank you so much. Ms. Mitchell, could you bless us with a prayer, please?
Certainly, Mayor. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessing, grace that you have given us. Father, we come before you tonight asking for your continued guidance, asking you to give us the wisdom that we need to make the correct decisions tonight. Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with Tanya and her family. This we ask in your son's name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. All right. Okay, we're gonna go straight into the agenda. Motion of acceptance of the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay. No
Madam
nays.
Mayor,
Aye. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to announce to council, when we get to resolution R13, just want to recuse myself from that portion of the part of the agenda.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. You still on computer, Miss Childs Jeter? You said, like.
No, I just said, because Miss Mitchell's gonna be leaving in a few minutes, so we gotta get to that.
Okay. All right. No, he's just, yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Motion in order for committee of the whole meeting minutes to accept the committee of the whole meeting minutes from June 14th and regular council meeting minutes from June 14th.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any nays? Okay. All right. Next would be announcements. Councilman Daniels, any announcement for you?
No announcements at this time, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Councilwoman Childs Jeter?
None at this time. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Councilwoman Phyllis Faber, any announcement?
No announcements, Mayor.
Okay. All right. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes, Mayor, I want to give a shout out to Stephen Brown, one of our residents and a former student of mine, who cut the islands on Mangum. I have been talking about those islands, and I just happened to have seen him at Yallow's, asked him what he did for business. He told me that he had that side job, so he went right on up there and cut them, as well as cut back some of the grass along the sidewalk by the retaining wall. So I'm just very glad that he was willing to do that for his community.
That's good. Give him my thanks. Thank you. Thank you for helping the community. We need about 5 more of him.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. About 5 more. Okay, Vice Mayor, any announcements for you? You've been a busy, busy person.
July 6th at 6 p.m. is our Lincoln Heights Day meeting via Zoom.
All right. Okay, thank you. All righty, ready. Looking forward to that. All right. Okay. I don't have any announcements. Ms. Powell, any announcement for you?
No, I don't have any announcements at this time.
Okay. I think this agenda on here, we had Ms. Lewis had to reschedule. We have her still listed on here, but she had to reschedule to come at our first council meeting in July. So we had her down. So we're gonna go on past that. And then
Madam Mayor, can you tell us who Ms. Lewis is?
Yes, Ms. Lewis, she is coordinating the Over the Rhine, the big event that's happening at the Soul Fest. That's going to be held July 24th at downtown Cincinnati at Serpentine Wall and Bicentennial Commons. She is working with Mr. Jay Rogers for the performances of the Isley Brothers performance. So she'll be coming to give us an update on that. She wanted to come this afternoon, but she's quite busy, both of them, preparing for the concert. So she'll be coming to the village hopefully at our next council meeting. All right, so that's who Miss Shanice Lewis is. Okay. All righty. I want to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Satterwhite under for hearing from the residents. Mr. Kelvin Satterwhite was listed last council meeting. We were unable to connect with him, but he's here today. He wanted to speak to council.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council members.
Good evening.
My concern is I have a apartment building right there on Adams at 900 Adams, be a holding spot across the street from me, where that these people coming in that don't live on that street, but they come from different street to sit there and party and play music and sell drugs and smoke and drink. And I mean, all times of the day. They get there at 7 o'clock in the morning and don't leave till 1:30, and they at the next morning. And my wife, she goes to work at 3:30 in the morning, so she can't get no rest because they are out there laughing, joking, and just actually just making all kind of ruckus where she can't get, comfortable in her own home, which is across the street. And we pay mortgage, we pay rent, we live there. She had that building for 18, 19 years now. And now it's becoming a habit where the Father's Day, they had, cooking and then everything on both sides of the street, parking. They parked in my driveway. I had to constantly, and when I went past there, I had to tell them, can they move out of the driveway? They park in front of my driveway. I had one of the guys was like, he got a little upset because I asked him to move out my driveway. And I was like, this is mine. This is my property, not yours. You got to move. And, they got kind of a little indignant, but, something got to be done across the street from that lot across the street. I would love to purchase it so I can put a sign up there saying no soliciting, because they just made it into a hangout spot where they just want to sit and smoke and drink and do everything else there all times of day. And I'm looking for the village to help me out, getting some signs up there, or some they leave trash out there, all on the ground and carrying on. And sometimes some people pick it up, but still I can't get in my driveway. And the other day I seen grown folks, I got a basketball court in my driveway for my grandson. I come by there one day, I had 3 guys up there shooting baskets, and they don't mess around and pull the rim, bent the rim on the basketball court. And I asked them what they doing in my yard. Man, we just shooting some baskets. I said, no. I said, this is private property. Nobody asked, can you come up here and shoot? Man, we just seen the rim. We just thought we can do it. No. Now y'all got my rim hanging down and nobody wants to repair it, but I got to go repair it now.
Mm-hmm.
So it just becoming a habit, right there. It just, and then, I just can't, I don't know what to say. My wife, Roberta, got something to say.
Okay. Hi, Mrs. Satterwhite.
Hello. He really said, enough or whatever, but only thing I just want to add is just that even though it hasn't been like no fights and no killings and all that stuff or whatever, I'm thankful and grateful for that. But I look at it from a landlord point of view. It's like I try to make my apartment building decent and presentable, and for someone to be just as decent and presentable to rent for me. And it's like how can I ask somebody to come and rent and charge them X amount of dollars and say, you know, I got this apartment to offer, but then you got this stuff going across the street. Like that, just like it brings it down, and it's like you don't want to be bothered. It's like go on your own yard. Like I mean, I know y'all you chilling or whatever, however, but don't disturb my peace and my tenant's peace. Like, you know, I mean, that's just, to me, it just bring the value down of your property. When you got people, you know, just sitting out there congregating early in the morning. Last Saturday, we had on Simmons, where the group home is at, we had a Juneteenth. And that Sunday, I said, I'm going home, I'm sleeping in, let the kids at the group home sleep in. That didn't happen. 7:58, it was 7:48. I heard people, I guess they was getting ready for the Father's Day, which is nice. I mean, it was nice that what they did and stuff like that. It was, you know, nice, but they want to come and start putting up at 7:48. It got music blasting. I mean, just because that's what you want to listen to and that loud, that means I want to listen to it. Like I'm trying to sleep in. It's like I didn't even get to like sleep in and try because I wasn't going to church and stuff, like, you know. So it's just a nuisance more than anything. And like my son, he has a case manager with greater behavior health. So they come over, he lives with me, they come over and to evaluate him, to, you know, to meet up with him on a regular basis. She parked her car, she get out. It's embarrassing that she got to smell smoke and, you know, and people looking like this is where you live, and, you know, and it's probably, I'm sure she putting it in her notes and, you know, stuff like that. Like, it's just embarrassing when you have people from the county or any place to come over there and do anything. And it's a thought of mine that I wanted to turn my apartment building to be able to rent my rooms out to veterans. I have a veteran, well, he a semi-veteran in my apartment now, but but I wanted to like rent to like homeless veterans and stuff like that. But I'm like, this street is not ready for it, just because of the stuff that's going on around. So I'd have to, you know, just continue to do what I've been doing. But I want to do more in life than just, you know, renting out of my apartment. I think God blessed me with that for certain things, and just to rent my apartment out to families and stuff. I want to be able to bless homeless veterans and stuff where they can't or don't have the capability or whatever. We close to Goodwill and stuff like that. I mean, I'm trying to plan like that, but I can't when I have to deal with the stuff that I've been dealing with. But I mean, he said, you know, enough or whatever. Then they Zoom. I said something to the village about a year ago about getting some speed bumps because people zooming up and down the street. So, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. And I know they've been doing it for years. I mean, this is like not nothing new. It's been going on for years. And but it's just like, I mean, it needs to change. And I remember specifically from Cisco Garcia, that's who I bought my apartment building from. He had it for like 20 something years. He sold it to me when he was about to shoot somebody about them like sitting on the wall and hanging around. And that's when he said he knew he had to like back out of it. And he sold it to me. And I had thought about that the other day. I'm like, I've had that apartment building for 21 years now. And it's like, I'm not ready to shoot nobody or nothing like that, but it just becomes frustrating. It's like, okay, you know, you know, I know this is the environment or whatever, but it's like, well, damn, I'm sorry. When are people going to mature? You know, like, I mean, these are grown adults. When you in a mature grown adult, you want to talk to your friends, listen to music, smoke weed, or whatever you do, you go in your yard, you go in your house.
So, Mrs. Satterwhite, I want to thank you and Mr. Satterwhite for coming. I know I saw you over the weekend. I asked you, you know, I mentioned about, hey, we need to come, would like for you to come and speak on it, because we did have conversation about it in our safety meeting. And Ms. Charles Jeter, she may want to elaborate on it, but she had great concerns about that, and she expressed that along with the other council members. Ms. Charles Jeter, you're our safety chair.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming. I did stop and talk to Mr. Satterwhite the other day because I was looking for him at the safety committee meeting. I too am disgusted with that. And you've had to endure a lot just being down there in that area. And has been resolved. It's time to resolve this stuff. So we're gonna have to try to talk to the owner about what is going on with her property, you know, whoever property it is. It doesn't make sense for this to continue to go on. I drove past there yesterday and saw all the garbage that was left all the way out in the street. So I asked Ms. Donna Pope to actually take a visit up there today and look at what they're doing. They're destroying that area up there. They've made it become the new Serenity Park. And to all of us that's trying to improve our community, that is not helping. And I don't think it's safe. They're having fun right now, but eventually, in my opinion, something's gonna break out up there, you know? So it's congested up there, going up and down the streets. Parking on both sides, and you shouldn't have parking on both sides. So I'm sorry. I apologize for the people out here, but we need to do better. We do need to do better. And if I sound like I'm a little upset about it, I am, as I was on Monday, to see how we could resolve this issue. We cannot continue to let people to do this in this village. People drop in or they come around or whatever, and they just start activities that we're not aware of. The village is not aware of until you have to ride past it or you hear the loud noises, and it's ridiculous. Also, with the quads or motorcycles that start down the hill, I can see them coming down the hill from the school headed your direction. And it's like it's a whole group, they're in a caravan. What do we do to stop this? There must be an answer to that question. And again, I apologize for what you've had to endure down there. I want it on the record. Want it to be recorded that been trying to stop this since the first time they had it down the Memorial Day weekend, and I thought it was up here at my house. So I did look and I found out that's where they were. And everyone was there. They set up chairs and they have umbrellas. And first it was one barbecue pit, then somebody else found another one and brought it over. We all should be upset as to what's happening in our community. We want to bring other people in this community when they drive down through there and see that it's not gonna happen. You know, on Burnett Avenue, they used to do that over there. That's done. Of course, people bought it up, turned it into something else. We don't want to do that. We want to improve our neighborhood. So other folks would want to come and share the richness in this community. Enough is enough. Something must be done.
Thank you, Ms. Childs Jeter.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
To Ms. Satterwhite, we did look up who owns that property, and we will be getting in touch with the owner because it is our understanding that the property owner gave them permission to be there. But just like you and Ms. Childs Jeter is saying, it is becoming, I mean, it is a nuisance. So we will be contacting the owner of the lot itself, and then also contacting the sheriff's department to see what they can do about that. I'm on American Publishing and see what kind of codified ordinances that we have for that situation that we can hopefully we can use to limit those gatherings.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Madam Chair, we do have the nuisance ordinance that would fit that.
Okay.
Yes. Along with no trespassing.
And Madam Chair, I want to say to my partners on council, if they're your friends, they're your friends. Sometimes we have to step outside that comfort zone and get things done. We are elected to serve the people, not those that want to disrupt, but the community, all people. So we have to learn to respect each other. There's no doggone respect right now. That can go in the minutes. And I'm sorry, I quit.
Okay. All
Madam
right.
Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
So I did speak with the property owner, and not the one listed, but the one who pays the taxes when they're paid. I did take her by there, and so she does want to get it addressed. So I will give that information on to Ms. Pope.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right, so we've got that all out the way.
I'm sorry, can we get someone up there to clean that area up? I know we don't have a service department, but it's horrible.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we're gonna go, if there's nothing further, we're gonna go on to our regular agenda, because I know a couple of council members or one's gonna leave and one is not gonna be able to, gonna choose itself. Okay, so communication and counsel from the clerk, Lisa Randolph, if there's any communication.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Communication from the mayor. I don't have anything at this time. Communications from village manager Joyce Boucher.
Are you for my report, Mayor? At this time? I don't know where you are in your agenda. Is this
Yeah, it would be your report.
you got
Point of clarification, Madam Chair.
I didn't hear you, was hollow. What did you say?
I was saying point of clarification.
Oh, I was just basically letting her know it was time, communications from the village manager.
Well, when I'm
She asked
asking,
about-
yeah.
Go
I'm
in
just
and out.
asking if we can amend it, because I have to leave, and then if we're going to be short for one of the ordinances, I think Ms. Peters had pointed out.
Yeah, we can come back to it. Ms. Powdrill, as far as your report, can we come back to it so we can get the legislations voted on?
Sure.
Oh, that's okay.
Thank you, Ms. Powder. Thank you,
All
ma'am.
right. Okay. All right, then we're gonna go straight into resolution. Motion in order for resolution number 2020 R12. Resolution authorizing the village manager to enter into a contract for services with the Cincinnati Circus Company for the Lincoln Heights Day Festival. What's your pleasure, council?
Motion to read by title only.
Second.
It's been moved in second to read by title only. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent, Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes, 1 absent. The motion does pass. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio. Resolution number 2021-R-12. Resolution authorizing the village manager to enter into a contract for services with Cincinnati Circus Company for the Lincoln Heights Day Festival.
Any questions? Any questions? Motion in order to suspend resolution number 2020 R12.
Motion
Suspend the
to,
rules.
motion to suspend.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent, Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes, 1 absent. The motion does pass.
Motion for passage of resolution number 2021 R12.
So move.
Second.
That's okay. It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent, Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes, 1 absent. The motion does pass.
Motion in order for the emergency clause of resolution 2020 R12.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent, Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes, 1 absent. The motion does pass.
Motion in order for resolution number 2020 R13. Mr. Desai.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So we had a conversation at Council of the Whole where we realized that we needed to change the word appropriate essentially to recognize that the funds had already been appropriated, but we were simply transferring funds or increasing and decreasing appropriated funds. When we talked in Council of the Whole, our original thought was to use the verbiage increase and decrease. However, in between Council of the Whole and the regular council meeting, the finance director and I had a chance to talk, and we determined that we can in fact use the word transfer. And so we're going to do that. And so we're going to need 3 separate motions to amend language. And I think I'd like to do them as 3 just because it'd be easier for everyone, including me, to understand. So if we can get a motion to amend the title of the resolution to read resolution authorizing the finance director to transfer funds from the Public Works Department to the Administration Department to fund the marketing and branding contract to benefit the Village of Lincoln Heights.
So move.
It's been moved in second to amend
Second.
resolution. Okay, all right. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels, Councilman,
I'm sorry, we're
I
on
think he
R13, correct? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're on R13.
Yeah, I think he recused himself from
okay,
this.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
thank you. Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent, and Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
All right, we have 5 aye votes, 1 recusal, and 1 absent. The motion does pass.
So the second motion we need pertains to the last whereas clause. And the motion would be to amend that clause to read, the administration department needs funds to pay for the marketing and branding contract with Room of Knowledge to benefit the village.
Okay. Motion. Is there a second?
Mitchell second, I think.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved in second to amend. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels has recused himself. Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. So we have 5 aye votes, 1 recusal, 1 absent. The motion does pass.
And then Mayor, one final motion on amendment here. We would like to, well, the motion would be to amend section 1 to read, the finance director is hereby authorized to transfer funds from the Public Works Department, comma, salaries and benefits line items in the total amount of $18,000 to the administration department, comma, contract services line item as indicated below, colon.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Madam Chair, can you tell me who second? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Laverne, it sounds like Laverne.
Ms. Mitchell.
Thank you. Okay, Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels has recused himself. Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 aye votes, 1 recusal, and 1 absent. The motion does pass.
So I think with that, we're done with the amendments, Mayor, and if you wanted to ask for a motion by title, that would be in order.
Okay, thank you. Motion order to read by title only of resolution number 2021 R13.
Motion.
To read by title only.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels has recused himself. Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 1 recusal, 1 absent. The motion does pass.
Ms. Randolph, since I have the language in front of me, would it be okay if I read it?
Sure.
Thank you. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2021-R-15. Resolution authorizing the finance director to transfer funds from the Public Works Department to the Administration Department to fund the marketing and branding contract to benefit the Village of Lincoln Heights.
Thank you.
Motion.
Any
to
questions?
suspend. I got the, yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
Yes, Vice Mayor.
My question is, does the branding, because I looked at and it says, and it's on page two, it said that this person would help with Village's 75th anniversary. Is this something that the Village is doing, or will they help with branding for Lincoln Heights Day?
I'm sorry, Vice Mayor, I didn't see that. That this is probably a document that, not probably, it is a document that was created early on before all the planning of the Lincoln Heights Day. If that is not something that you need, that's fine. We don't have to.
No, I need it. I was just asking because I need it.
I'm sure he can assist you with that. And what he would assist you, it would be more around not branding, but more around making sure it's communicated out to the public. And I think
what I need. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
No other questions? Okay. Then we're gonna move on to motions to suspend the rules of resolution
Move.
2021 R13. There was a move. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilman Daniels has recused himself. Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 1 recusal, and 1 absent. The motion does pass.
Motion for
Second.
Laverne.
second.
Okay.
She made the motion. You did it first.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. Councilwoman Linda. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Councilwoman
Yes.
Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels recused himself. Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 1 recusal, 1 absent. The motion does pass.
Emergency, motion for the emergency clause of resolution R13.
Motion. Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels has recused himself. Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 1 recusal, 1 absent. The motion does pass.
Good night,
Motion.
council.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Ms. Mitchell?
I was just saying good night. I have to leave. I have to go pick up my grandson.
Good night, Mr.
Okay.
Good night, Mr. Burr.
Good night. Thank you, Ms. Mitchell.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, motion in order for resolution number 2020 R14. What's your pleasure, council?
Read it by title. Motion that we read it by title only.
There's second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell is absent. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 2 absent. The motion does pass.
Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ms. Randolph. I'm sorry.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2021-R-14. A resolution amending the Village of Lincoln Heights Employee Handbook to recognize Juneteenth as a holiday in the Village of Lincoln Heights.
Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Motion in order to suspend the rules of resolution 2021 R14.
Motion.
Second. Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell. I'm sorry, I apologize. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes. Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell is absent. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 2 who are absent. The motion does pass.
Okay. Motion for passage of resolution 2021 R14.
Moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell is absent. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 2 who are absent. The motion does pass.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Motion for the emergency clause of resolution 2021 R14.
So move.
I'll second.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell is absent. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 2 who are absent. The motion does pass.
Motion in order for resolution number 2021 R15, resolution adopting the 2022 tax budget for the Village of Lincoln Heights. What's your pleasure, council?
Move that read by title only.
Second.
It's been moved in second to read by title only of resolution 2021 R15. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell is absent. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 2 who are absent. The motion does pass. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2021-R-15. Resolution adopting the 2022 tax budget for the Village of Lincoln Heights for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2022, and submitting the same to the Auditor of Hamilton County.
Any questions? Okay, no questions. Motion in order to suspend the rules of resolution 2021 R15.
Move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell is absent. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 2 who are absent. The motion does pass.
Motion for passage of resolution 2021 R15.
Move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell is absent. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, 2 who are absent. The motion does pass.
Motion for the emergency clause of 2021 R15 resolution.
So move.
There's second. It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Wow. Yes.
thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key is absent. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell is absent. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
Okay, we have 5 aye votes, 2 who are absent. The motion does pass.
Okay, all right. Takes care of that. Any miscellaneous business?
Yes, Mayor, I have miscellaneous business.
Okay.
Who can sing? Anybody else can sing?
Why don't we all do it together?
Oh, Lord. Today is our wonderful clerk of council who's been very helpful and go out of her way to make sure that we have what we need. She has turned 25 again today. So can we sing
25.
happy birthday to her? That is my lane business.
Y'all ready?
Happy birthday.
Y'all not gonna sing? Come on, y'all.
Happy. Oh, I thought we were doing the Stevie Wonder version.
Oh, yeah, do that.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. God. Oh, they gonna do
Thank
one
you.
liner. The Ross like this.
I couldn't do
Thank you.
that.
Happy birthday.
Enjoy the rest of your day. You had to put up with all of us today.
Yes, and I told her we didn't have. She put executive session, but we're not going to executive session on her birthday. So I don't know why that's on there, but we're not. So
okay.
Oh, so we'll be having a little cake tomorrow for Lisa. I did not know it was your birthday. You know, I like cake.
I love cake.
Okay, if there's
Thank
nothing
you.
further, you're welcome. If there's nothing further, motion for adjournment.
Motion.
But that, Jeannie.
All right, it's been it's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Y'all be
Night.
safe. Bye-bye.
Good night.